grow my hair. I just walk a bear. Simon got to sleep. I didn't know it pairs. Like home in the stair. Dirty clothes we wear. Hear the things we say. We don't show enough fear.
Yeah, second segment, right? That's too big. It is Scoop Up. And guys,
Me.
Strange Rasta.
Me.
Very suitable, huh? We got another guest with us, Miss Luci Hammans. Luci, introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself.
As a person, I do things. Sometimes I dye my hair, sometimes I don't. Yeah, I'm from here. That's about it.
She's from here, yeah. So she is actually growing up. She goes with the rest of us.
It is true.
With green hair. So being from the planet of with the green lanterns and stuff like that, you got powers or I just see you here?
I got powers, man.
The planet is called Or.
The planet is called
Or.
Or?
He knows.
See, apparently he knows. I didn't even know.
He knows about my culture.
I'm watching my last.
So what is it you do, Luci?
I'm an hello.
Yeah, that's happening.
Get out and call it your life on the year.
It's true. So, yeah, I'm a spoken word artist. I'm also an applied performance performer, which is a type of theater which is based off of a gospel wow, which is theater of the oppressed. So yeah, that's what I do most of the time. I make stuff.
So alright, let me break down all that intellectual stuff that you just said. Because I would understand it because I'm in the same area as you.
It's true, it's true.
Right? But some people would not even know who the hell Augusta Boal is and like, what is that? What is it she's really do all the time, all she does probably is street perform and have a bucket there and everybody's short changing it.
Yeah.
So explain that.
Okay. I take a performance or a skill. Yeah. I take a skill from a particular community and then I talk with the community and see what they want to talk about, what they want to explore using the different skills that they can bring to the table, and then we make a performance. And the performance usually addresses the issue that they brought up in the time that I was with them. That's mostly what we do. Sometimes you do that as a collective with a whole group of people. Sometimes you do it as an individual person.
Right. So the groups that you've worked with here.
In Barbados.
Yes.
I've worked with the this is going back a little bit, but I worked with the Connelltown community, and I've worked most recently with lupus, patients with lupus. I did a performance on that not too long ago, and then I did a workshop on that as well. I've done some work with the artistic community as well. Yeah, and the BCC students.
BCC students.
Yeah.
And you also work overseas as well, too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I work overseas.
And but you work with overseas groups and you work overseas with the...
Wow. That's LGBT, SEN, which is special educational needs. Also looking at the Black and ethnic minorities. I've worked with that as well. I worked with Caribbean minorities. Who else have I worked with? I worked with a lot of people. I worked with youth offenders, young offenders. Yeah.
And the issues, most common issues that you would normally like try to tackle within.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think the most work I've gotten so far has been with the LGBT community because there's such a push for that in the funding department at the moment overseas. Right. To work on.
It's a more sexier topic to gravitate towards.
I suppose so. After all, it is about sex. Yeah. So. That tends to be, well so far, that's been what I've been working on most. And also a lot to do with identity. As I said, with the ethnic minorities, there's a lot of identity issues and knife crime. Knife violence has been something that's come up quite a bit because there's also that issue as well. So, yeah.
Alright, so in terms of topics that you're in Barbados, we think is like the most hot topic that you would want to tackle next after.
I'm currently in the process of writing a project about CSA, child sexual abuse. Mostly because it's not that it's not being tackled, it's just that there's certain legislation that doesn't necessarily allow for certain things to happen. So a lot of things aren't necessarily mandatory when they should be. So it's more about the awareness that I'm trying to, would be the thing that I'd be tackling more. I think the LGBT community could use a little bit of representation in Barbados as well.
Right.
And the alternative young people community as well. But yeah, cool.
That's yours.
That's mine.
Have a sip, man. No worries.
I know. I will drink it when I'm thirsty.
Alright, cool. Macarthur, no questions for Luci before we go into anything else?
Any questions?
I'll take all that, weren't you?
Yeah.
I think everyone really needs to know like why your hair green.
This is a personal question.
It is green.
Yeah, well.
The reason of my being, actually. My hair is green because I was in a children's theater performance when I first moved to England, and I was a pirate. And I was a pirate who had locks, and everybody else in the cast had pretty colored hair, and nobody had green hair. So I thought, you know what, damn it, I don't care about how.
How does everyone have pretty colored hair not have green hair?
Well, everybody else had blue, pink, orange, red. Oh, there was blonde, there was yellow, there was purple, every other color under the sun was represented except green. So mostly because green is, a lot of people can't pull off green. I'm not even sure if I pull off.
It's true. People do have things against green. Marijuana's been illegal for a while just because of it.
What's the problem?
Kermit has issues with it.
It's true. You just gotta keep sipping that tea.
It's not easy being green.
It's not.
I actually like green. Green is actually my favorite.
Really?
My car is green. My school colors are green. I just like green.
School color.
My school color, sorry, is
What
green.
did you go to?
That's the one.
I did not know that. Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know.
So I like green.
I'm glad.
Yeah. And you are pulling off. Actually, I found that since I saw you with green hair, I've seen a lot of girls starting to dye their hair green. So you definitely set off some kind of a trend.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry about that wave. That was you guys. Yeah. Please. Alright, yeah. I've seen that happen as well, weirdly enough. It was also when my hair kind of turned blue for a bit, which is what's happening at the top. Those people started turning their hair blue, and I was just like, hey, what's up with that? But I flatter myself too much.
right. No problem. Well, we're gonna get straight into some topics that Carson wants to talk about.
Yes, Carson, ask me your questions.
Ready?
Well, when Carson wanted to address that he was very passionate about being that he was also a former student of University of West Indies.
How many is he talking about?
He knows what I'm talking about.
We have a live studio audience of 3 people.
Live studio audiences are the best. And none of them are looking at
I've
us.
never heard of a podcast having an audience, but I'm grateful for it. We are breaking ground here on We're Not Stupid.
Woo!
So that's the first, right? But yeah, Hillary Beckles wanted to name his new stadium
Professor, sir.
Professor Hillary Beckles.
Professor, sir.
Professor Sir Hillary Beckles.
Professor Sir.
That's real title though.
Is it actually Professor Sir?
Yeah,
Are you
Professor Sir,
serious?
yeah.
Yeah.
No problem for the audience, please. Just kidding. Yeah. Wants to name the new stadium, the new UWI stadium, after multi-Olympic gold medalist,
Living legend, Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
Wow.
A lot of people are upset by that.
I can understand why.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I can get the feels as to why that might be so.
Who tell?
But I don't know. I guess on the most basic level and the most upfront level is that Usain isn't us. Like, he's not Barbados, and very
But
often.
neither is university.
That is university. That's the thing. It's the University of the West Indies.
Yeah, well.
And like he's not the first non-Barbadian to have anything on this facility of Cape Hill named after him.
I'm not going to spend much time on this because it's a moot issue, and a lot of the arguments against come from places of ignorance. I don't really have any time for that right now. So this is what I'm going to say.
So he says,
All the cricket stadiums, all the campuses are named after Barbadians.
Yeah.
They're all named after.
It's a fright world.
Right, well, you understand? So I don't have time for that right now. You understand? Trainees are not up in arms because the cricket field at St. Augustine is not named after Barbados. No one cares. You understand me? There's Bridgetown Avenue all down Kingston.
Barbados Avenue.
Barbados Avenue, sorry. So I mean, there's no place for this. You understand?
No.
UWI is part of the Caribbean. Is one of the few remaining legacies for the whole Caribbean and regional integration movement. You understand? That's part of UWI's mandate. That's why people got up in arms when Cape Hill introduced their med-sci faculty, and when all the rest introduced the law faculties and this sort of stuff, because they started to see it as every campus started to homogenize and breaking up that regional integration. Not really so much because they still have some of these small island states that still have to travel up regardless. I mean, but people were seeing it as the universities are now trying to do everything by themselves.
Correct.
You understand? So, but a lot of the talk against it coming from Bajans, we got all Bajans here, like, but this is not the University of Barbados, the University of the West Indies, who has a mandate to unify the region.
Right.
And part of that is bringing people from all over the Caribbean into these campuses to foster that development and integration. And a part of that will be honoring people from all over the Caribbean on the various campuses.
Right.
You understand me? So people were saying, but Usain never went to UWI. But
that's such a stupid argument.
But now it didn't over. And I mean, on a strict, on a strictly marketing level, Usain Bolt will bring people. Usain Bolt is a recognizable name, but Daddy Thompson is not. So
that's because you don't like Oprah.
No, I have no problem against Mr. Thompson.
You know they hate somebody when they call him the last name, right?
I have no problem with
Mr. Thompson. Of course.
You understand me? But my issue is with the people, and the thing is, the biggest part is that they're promoting this, they're promoting their opinions as some form of righteous patriotism, and it's not. It's a very, 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 very thinly veiled xenophobia that pops up anything happens regarding Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Guyanese. And same thing that's happening now with the Nigerian students about Miss Ram's hellhole that she calls a hotel. And people talk about, man, but they've got AC part to come from. I don't care if they've got AC part to come from. They spent $10 million to be here. Nobody. First of all, you cannot in good conscience send anybody to Casa Grande. If you want to go and pick some breadfruits or something and put some sticks in your road, you have a far better experience.
Alright, before we get on Casa Grande, we go back.
No, this just dealing with the entire xenophobia.
I get it. That's part of what he's saying.
Like I said, I don't really have time for that right now because it's just a lot of bullshit that people come up with.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I also, because I agree with you with everything you're saying, right? But I take time to actually listen to some of the arguments. Right? And none of them make sense in my opinion. I'm sorry if people disagree. Right? But none of them make any sense to me. But I understand that we in Barbados have this thing that we do not support our own.
Yes, I learned how to.
But this is not one of the arguments. This is not one of the arguments because this is a regional institution.
Yeah.
Right? And it's also stated like that there will be stands named after our own athletes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that got me. Oh, we have selective memory in this country. Remember, I think it was last year or year before, that I think it was Gordon Burton or Desmond Haynes. The Guardian refused to allow him into his own, but standing after him. And then people took to Facebook and was like, Desmond, who? And I was like, yeah, you understand that Desmond Haynes was a part of a cricket team, Westminster team, that had the record for the most unbeaten sports team of all times. He too is a living legend. So why are we so up in arms?
Well, I'm saying the only the primary counter argument is a xenophobic one. There's some well-meaning people. Ali Thorne had a thing in the paper. I think it's the newspaper. Anyhow, he mentioned the same Desmond Haynes, the battle from last year, the decades-old mistreatment of Suki King and how he's got to watch Paris to fund his own trip tour and that sort of stuff. So there are genuine reasons for people to be upset about something like this, but not this particular thing.
Straight up, I don't got a clue.
But the main thing, honestly, is just a xenophobia thing.
Like,
so no, because they're like, well, why we ain't after Jamaican? Like, white or Jamaican? See, that's their argument.
Why?
That's where it comes. Right. That's where it comes first. Why he's not from here? Medicine University. So I mean that's why the main thing is always this xenophobic thing that they start off and then they come back, and that's why you have no time for that.
Okay, cool.
Because one of the arguments of some people that given to me is, what does Usain Bolt have to do with UWI? And when I was a student at ABCC, they had me to walk way after to Salt Lake Shore.
Yeah, isn't the park down the road named
That's
after
Mandela Park.
Which I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it, but it's one of the questions that come up. You go, why? I mean, maybe that's just how we are as a people.
Because I think because the university not only is it praising great things in our region, but it is also celebrating who we are as a Caribbean nation, and how we are having influence, because Mandela also helped influence a lot of our movements, right?
I mean, again, it's like with the situation you say, well, I really got an opinion on it because it doesn't really affect me. Like it doesn't, straight up. It don't hurt me. Nothing about it hurts me. Whether they call it the Orange Stadium or the Usain Bolt Stadium, it doesn't bother me. Like, I guess I'm just like that.
Well, it's a big thing for a lot of people in terms of the naming. We have this outrageous thing when it comes to naming something after somebody.
That's what I find really interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing that I'm trying to tap into, which is that, again, like I said with the Nelson Mandela thing, is that question of why, and maybe that's why you keep seeing questions coming
But
up.
Barbados names things after Barbadians all the time. Some that you don't even know.
But you don't even know
who Braden C is. People don't know who Frederick Smith is. You understand? And these are
Darryl Jordan is. Nobody knows.
And these people have school names. I mean, I know who these people are, but I'm
I
just
do
saying.
too, but
So Barbados does honor people quite.
But that's the problem. No, see, she doesn't know.
I don't know any of these people.
To be honest, that's
right. And that's the problem.
No,
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what
JS
really needs to be talked about.
JS Rant, yes, there's going to rename it.
But yeah, but the GS is be real boring.
Oh, some.
A lot.
Those were.
A lot.
But to be honest, they're there. The information is there. You can go to JS and you can find it.
Okay,
I'm just saying
I
on
will
script
take
naming
time
thing. Barbados does name things after people. Sometimes too quickly. We are very, very fast to honor. Sometimes, well, to honor achievements and events that some other people won't.
Yeah, but you know, certain institutions aren't going to get renamed. Palmerian get renamed. Harrison College is not going to get renamed.
I like that comment. I really like. If that was a Facebook status, I would like that. Because that's the truth.
Certain institutions are not going to get renamed. Okay, the day that Queen Elizabeth Hospital get renamed, where you get renamed to?
Good question. Let me think what that was.
King William.
That's pretty funny.
Hey, it is Prince Harry Hospital. I mean,
Is that?
Jokes.
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna name something after somebody, we gotta look at that as well too, because we got that unhealthy obsession of naming things just for naming things' sake, and a lot of things are partly affiliated as well too.
Like some of the audience members are talking about the votes. I mean, that's one of the things you gotta bring up.
What is that?
We have a lot of names.
Yeah, I see that happiness is what important, and so there's a look for the salary and mortgage.